Hello everyone, this is Janna Gajjan, Assistant Professor at ITICT Department of LG Institute of Engineering and Technology. Welcome to the fourth lecture of Unit 3. In previous lecture, we have discussed about the various software matrices, in which we have discussed some of the definitions like direct matrices, indirect matrices, what are metrics, what are measures, and so on. And also we have discussed about the process, product and project matrix. In today's lecture, we are going to cover some of the matrix classification that are size oriented matrix, function oriented matrix, object oriented matrix and use case matrix. So what is categories of software measurement? In previous lecture, we have already discussed about direct and indirect metrics. So, direct measure of the software process and of the software product. That means direct measurement refer to the immediately measurable attributes. For an example, LOC means lines of code. So, in software process, you can calculate some cost and efforts. Okay. Similarly, for software product, you are calculating line of code produced for particular software, then execution speed, then what are the defects in that particular application, etc. And indirect measurement of the software product are refer to the aspects that are not immediately quantifiable or measurable. For an example, functionality, quality, complexity, efficiency and reliability. Okay, so this is two categories of any software measurement, either direct or indirect measure. Okay, so now metrics for software cost and effort estimation are, so we have divided a categories for which you can calculate cost of that particular product and you can also calculate effort. So cost and effort estimation by using various matrices like size oriented matrix, function oriented matrix, object oriented matrix and use case matrix. So in today's lecture we will study about size oriented matrix and function oriented matrix. So first topic is size oriented matrix. So one of the earliest and simpler metric for calculating the size of the computer program, that is the size oriented metric. Basically, size oriented measures are derived by considering the size of the software that has been produced. Okay, so generally size oriented metrics used in calculating and comparing the productivity of the programmers. Okay, so what is the actual size of your product that we can calculate with the help of size oriented matrix. Even size oriented matrix is calculating about any lines of code, but it apart from some comments and blank lines in your code, then it also includes the header, then declaration as well as executable and non-executable statement. Okay, so while you are calculating the actual size of your product, then you can consider all these points for calculating the cost and effort estimation. Then size oriented matrix derived by normalizing, that means standardizing quality and productivity measured by considering the size of the software product. So what is the actual size of your product or your software, that you can calculate by using the size oriented matrix. Here thousands lines of code, that means KLOC. Okay, so thousands lines of code are regularly or often chosen as the normalization value. Here size oriented matrix of the project computed by error per KLOC. Okay, so you are establishing that how many errors per line. Okay, so per KLOC what are the errors, then defect, so defect per KLOC, then dollar per KLOC, that means the cost per line of code, then page of document as per KLOC. So you can compute various measures by using the size oriented matrix. Even other interesting metrics that you can compute, like error per person month. Okay, so if any person is developing something, then what are the errors from that particular person, then what is the KLOC per person month. Okay, so in 1 month, one particular person or your developer, how much line of code he or she can create. Okay, he or she can develop. So that means KLOC per person month. Then dollar per page of documentation. Okay, so that means the cost of any document. So per page cost, that you can also compute by using the size oriented matrix. So this is about the size oriented matrix. So size oriented matrix is basically calculate the size of that particular computer program. Okay, so the product which you are developing, then you can easily calculate the cost and efforts for that particular product by using size oriented matrix. So let's discuss some advantages and disadvantages of size oriented matrix. So advantages is, it is simple to measure. Okay, so here you are calculating efforts, then cost per efforts, then who is the person, how much line of code he or she is developing. Okay, so you are calculating all this, and finally you came up with the final estimation or final cost of that particular software. Okay, so this is the one of the earliest technique for calculating any software product size. So this is the advantages. It is simple to measure, but it have many disadvantages. So disadvantages are like, it is defined on the code. So for an example, it cannot measure the size of the specification. Okay, so if you are giving any specification on your product, then it cannot calculate that particular size of that specification. Okay, so it only defined the code itself. Then it characterized only one specific view of size. Okay, so namely length, it takes no account of functionality or complexity. That means it characterizes only with the one specific view of size. Okay, so if it is a login page, then it will work on the particular login page only. Then another disadvantage is, it is a bad software design may cause an excessive line of code. Okay, so if you are not doing well, and if you are not giving some efforts to your software development, then it leads to the so many lines of code in your product. So you have to work smartly, and you have to use a minimum line of code for developing any software. Then the next disadvantage is, not universally accepted as the best way to measure the software process. Okay, so here we have already discussed, this is the earliest method for calculating the size of your product. Okay, so it is not universally accepted for measuring your software process size. Okay, then another disadvantage is, it is a language dependent. Okay, so if you are doing your code in a C language, then size oriented matrix is particular for the C language only. Okay, so if you are moving from one language to another language, then it can possible by using the size oriented matrix for calculating the actual size. So size oriented matrix is a language dependent. Then next disadvantage is, user can't easily understand it. Okay, so it is simple, like if there is a multiple lines of code, and we have already discussed that it is simple to measure, but it only gives a specification. Okay, so if there is a login code, then only the login code particular page is calculated. So user can't easily understand the whole calculation properly. So these are the disadvantages of size oriented matrix. So size oriented matrix is the earliest measurement, okay, for calculating any size of code, but it is a basic for other calculating measurements. Okay, so now let's discuss another, that is a function oriented matrix. So function oriented matrix uses a measure of the functionality delivered by the application as a normalization value. That means you are calculating the cost for functionality. Okay, so function oriented model is based on the functionality of the delivered application. Okay, so what are the functionality in your particular software that you are calculating by using the functional oriented matrix? Okay, so functionality is the measure indirectly using a measure called function point. Here size oriented matrix is a direct matrix and functional oriented matrix is a indirect for cost estimation. So functionality is measured indirectly using a measure called a function point. So you are using a functional point. Okay, so function point for calculating the cost and effort for your software product. Okay, so what is that functional point? So function point, that means it is derived using an empirical relationship based on the countable measures of software and assessment of software complexity. Okay, so what is the actual relationship between two modules? Okay, so it is using an empirical relationship based on an countable measures. Okay, so countable measures are like what are the inputs, what are the outputs, what are the inquiries. Okay, so these are some measures of software and excess of software complexity. So you are calculating that what is the actual size by defining what is the complexity of that particular project. Okay, and what are the countable measures. Okay, so for calculating FP there is a formula like FP, that means function point equal to count total. Okay, count total means UFP. UFP means unadjustable function point and remaining part is 0.65 plus 0.01 into summation of value adjustment factor, that means VAF. Okay, so FP is basically a multiplication of UFP and CAF. UFP means your total count. Okay, so your count total is a UFP and the remaining part is your CAF. CAF stands for complexity adjustment factor, that we will study in the next topic. Okay, so the FP metric can be used effectively as a means for measuring the functionality delivered by a system. So which functionality is delivered to customer that you are calculating for the software. So using historical data, the FP metric can be used to estimate the cost or effort required to design, code and test the software. Okay, so how much cost and how much effort are estimated based on the designing phase, coding phase and testing phase. Okay, so how much cost and effort for designing, how much cost and effort for testing and coding, so that you have calculated by using a FP. Then it predicts the number of errors that will be encountered during the testing. So once you are testing your software, you can easily identify the errors. So FP is used to predict the number of errors that will be encountered during the testing phase, and it also helps to forecast the number of components and the number of projected source line in the implemented system. Okay, so this is about the function oriented matrix. Then what is the actually user view? So mark one thing, size oriented matrix is a design oriented and functional oriented matrix is a user oriented. So it is a user view, like you have your function or your application. Okay, so now there are number of user and event are coordinate with that particular software. Okay, and there are also other applications. So here terms are like external output, external input, external inquiries, external interface file and internal logical files. So this is the user view of that particular function point metric. Okay, so let's discuss. That means a number of external input, EI. EI means the input data originate from a user or it transmitted from another application. Okay, so here you can see that EI is mentioned, that user event to your internal logical files. Okay, so here incoming error. Okay, so it is a input data originated from a user or it is transmitted from another application. For an example, your input screen and a table, that means it's a external input. Next is external output. External output is derived data within the application that provides information to the user. Okay, now user is giving some input. Now as a application processes and gives some output to the user. Okay, so external output means it is derived data within the application that provide information to the user, and output refers to the report, screens, error message, etc. Okay, so for an example, your screen and a output message like any report. Okay, so if you are performing any calculation, okay, so 1 plus 1, it gives you answer 2. So report is generated. You are giving input as 1 and you are performing addition and it gives you output. So it is about the external output. Then next is a external inquiries. Okay, so external inquiry is defined as an online input. Okay, so you are giving online input that result in the generation of some immediate software response in the form of an online output. Okay, so you are giving online input and immediately system response and give you some output. So for an example, that any prompt box, okay, so any pop-up box or any error message like 404 page not found. So these are some example of external inquiries. Then number of internal logical files. Okay, in image you can see that internal logical files are resides within the function or any application. Okay, so internal logical file is a logical grouping of data that resides within the application boundary and is maintained via external input. Okay, so for an example, your database and directories. Okay, so if you are using WhatsApp, then it always create a WhatsApp folder in your internal storage and it have some databases. Okay, so these are the internal logical file for your software particular. Okay, then next is a number of external interface file. Okay, so how many external interface file are related with your particular application or your function? So it is a logical group of data that resides external to the application but provides information that may be of use to the another application. Okay, so in previous diagram you can see there are other application, okay, and there are external interface file. So external interface files are a logical group of data that resides external to the application but provide information that may be of the another application. For an example, if we have a shared database, so shared database is an example for external interface file. So these are some measurement for calculating FP. Okay, so external input, external output, external inquiries, then internal logical file and external interface file. Now what is the actually function point calculation? So function point calculation, we have already discussed the formula. So FP equal to UFP, that means unadjusted function point multiplication symbol and then followed by a CAF, that means complexity adjustment factors. So here UFP is count total multiplication symbol and the remaining part, that means 0.65 plus 0.01 and summation of value adjustment factor. So here you will give some input like what is the count of external input, external output, external inquiries, internal logical files and external interface file. Now if someone asks you for calculating function point for given particular project, then you have to imagine that what is the actual complexity. So these are some weighting factors that is already given. If your project is simple, then you have to select the simple values for multiplication of various input. If you have an average project, then you have to select the average value for particular calculation. And if your project is very complex, then you have to select a complex factor for calculating the total count. Okay, so here simple, average and complex, there are three partitions for particular product. Okay, so if your product or project is a simple, then you have to take the particular simple values. If it is an average project, then calculate with the average input values, and for complex you will calculate with the complex value. Okay, so next is some information about the value adjustment factor. In previous slide we have seen in our formula that there is a count total followed by some formula in which we have multiplying that particular value 0.65 plus 0.01 to the summation of VAF. VAF stands for value adjustment factor. So Fi means I equal to 1 to 14 are complexity value adjustment factor, and value adjustment factor are used to provide an indication of problem complexity. So how much your problem is complex, that you will define by this particular factors. So factor is like data communication, distributed data processing, then what is the performance, heavily used configuration, transaction role, then online data entry, then end user efficiency, online update, then complex processing, reusability, installation is, operational is, multiple sites, and facilitate changes. So these are the 14 factors for calculating the sum of a VAF. Okay, so after giving some answer to that particular question, you are able to calculate the total VAF, means sum of VAF, to calculate the function point. So does the system require reliable backup and recovery? Are data communication required for your particular software or for your product? Are there a distributed processing function? Is your performance are critical, means high level or low level? Will the system run in an existing heavily utilized operational environment? Then does the system require online data entry for your input or for particular report generation? Then does the online data entry require the input transaction to be built over multiple screen or operation? Okay, so if there are any multiple screen or not, then are the master file updated online or offline? Okay, so you are manually updating it or it is automatically updated. Then are the input output files or inquiry are complex or not? Then is the internal processing are complex? Is the code designed to be reusable code or you have to write it multiple times? Then are conversation and installation include in the design or not? Then is the system designed for multiple installation is different organization? Then is the application designed to facilitate change ease of use by the user? So these are some questions, means there are 14 factors that you have to answer before calculating the FP point. So you have to give some points like 0 to 5 per question. So for first question, does the system require reliable backup and recovery? Then based on this question, for your particular software, you will give some of the numbers, means you are giving some range. So for each complexity adjustment factor, give a rating on a scale of 0 to 5. So if you are going with 0 value, then it means it's no influence for that particular software. If 1, then it is incidental. Then 2, that means it's moderate. Then if 3, it means an average. If 4, it is significant. And 5, that means it's essential. Okay, so after giving answer to that all question, you are able to calculate the actual summation Fi value. Okay, so for calculating FP, you must calculate VAF first. So let's discuss it with the better example. So example is like you have to study of requirement specification for a project has been produced following result. So here in example, they have already give you some values like it need 7 input, means external inputs value is 7, then 10 outputs means EO. Your external output is 10, then 6 inquiries, that means EQ. Your external inquiries are 6, then 17 files, means your internal logical files are 17, and 4 external interfaces. So 4 external interfaces, fine. So input and external interface function point attributes are of average complexity. Here complexity is already given. Okay, so you have to calculate FP with the average complexity value. Okay, so as we already discussed, there are 3 partitions, either simple, complex and average. So here average complexity is already defined. So all other function point attributes are of the low complexity, and you have to determine adjust function point assuming complexity adjustment value is 32. So here VAF value is already given for your particular example. So VAF value is 32. So that means you have to calculate all this. Okay, so here function point calculation means you are giving input, like what are the external input, what are the external output, what are the external inquiries, what are the internal logical files, what are the external interface file. So in previous we have already discussed 7 input, 10 output, 6 inquiry, 17 files and 4 external interface. So count for external input is 7, outputs 10, inquiry is 6, logical files 17 and external interface files are 4. Okay, here they have already mentioned in a example like input and external interface function point attribute are average, okay, and others are low complexity. So that means you have to select average value for input and EIF, that means external interface file. So you can see that there is an average file. Okay, so here you have selected 4 and for external interface file you have selected 7. That means for both the value you are selecting average factor, and for remaining they have already mentioned that for remaining you have to select a low complexity. So low complexity means you are selecting a simple values for output, inquiries and logical file. So now you have to just calculate external input means 7 with average factor means 7 4s are 28. So 28 is the value. Then similarly external output means 10. You are selecting simple, that means 10 4s are 14. So here 14 value. Then similarly external inquiries, so that means 6 multiplied by 3, so 18. Then internal logical files 17 multiplied by 7, so answer is 119. And external interface file, that means 4 multiplied by 7, that means 28. Okay, so here total count means UFP on adjustment function point, that means count total is 233. Now put this value into the formula. So here they have already mentioned in question like determine adjustment function point assuming complexity. Adjustment value is 32. Okay, so here VAF equal to 32 already given. So FP equal to count total multiplication, then 0.65 plus 0.01 into summation of Fi. Okay, count total is 233 and value adjustment factor is already given, that is 32. So put all the values into particular formula and you will able to calculate the overall function point value. So answer is 226.01. Okay, so that's all for the function point. Let's summarize it. We have studied that in function point about what is function point, what are the measures like external input, external output, external inquiries, internal logical files and external interface file. Okay, then followed by a particular symbols. Okay, so you have to calculate either your project is a average complexity project or simple project or complex project. Okay, so based on the given factors you have to calculate the count total. So we have calculated all the total count and based on this we are able to recognize the total FP. Okay, so FP is generated based on this. Okay, so let's discuss some advantages and disadvantages. So advantages are FP is programming language independent, so you can use any of the programming language for your coding, and FP is based on the data that are more likely to be known in the earlier stage of a project, making it more attractive as an estimation approach. Like you are calculating the each and every function of your product. And these are some disadvantages also, like a function point requires some sleight of hand because the computation is based on the subjective data. Okay, so what is your subjective data? Based on that you are calculating the costing. Then it counts of the information domain can be difficult to collect. Okay, so counts of the information domain you are calculating is very difficult to assume, and FP has no direct physical meaning, it is just a number. Okay, so it doesn't have any physical numbering. Okay, it's just a simple integer values. So these are the advantages and disadvantages. Okay, so what we have learned? We have learned a size oriented matrix and a function oriented matrix. So size oriented matrix is a design oriented and function oriented matrix is a user oriented. Then a size oriented matrix is a direct matrix and function oriented matrix is a indirect matrix. And size oriented matrix you are preferring actual size of the product that has been produce. Okay, and here in function oriented matrix you are calculating the functionality delivered to that particular software. Okay, so this is the major difference between size oriented and function oriented matrix. So that's all for the today's lecture. In next lecture we will continue with the object oriented matrix and use case oriented matrix. Thank you.